I'm sure played for Fraser-New at Catalan.
Yeah.
Escaré, he did too. Hugo Perez and Lucas Alberg, Georgie Gambaro, they're all players who've had periods at Catalans as well as they've developed their careers. So there's lots of players they'll be familiar with there, so they'll know their strengths, and then putting them in that environment where they're playing with the sort of slightly higher level caliber of player is great. And then there's some of the young players as well that we're seeing at Catalan this year. You know,
Yeah.
Mathieu Laguerre, we all liked him, didn't we, when we saw him? Artur Morg, everyone sees what talent he's got.
Yeah. I think for the development of the game in France, it is exciting to see like that spread of ages as well.
Yeah, because gone are some of the old school names in the forward pack. You know, your Remy Castille, your Michael Simon, those sort of guys. Remy Castille's in it, isn't he?
Yeah,
I thought he'd retired from internationally. Is there? So they do have that experience. But then there's the young forwards, Paul Seguier, Michael Gudemond. Maybe not quite good enough to be full time in that starting lineup, but you've got to give him a chance. Lambert Belmas as well. I like the look of him.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be good.
Excellent. And finally, plans for the return of the learning disability, physical disability, and wheelchair variations of Rugby League were announced on Wednesday, the 21st of April, as the game continues its gradual return to play. I was having a chat with some friends who know very little about Rugby League, about wheelchair Rugby League yesterday. They were really interested in that tournament and in how that sport is. The three variations of the game were rapidly growing in popularity before the pandemic, but people with physical and learning disabilities have been hit hard by the coronavirus. Many people with disabilities have had to shield, of course, and isolate, so effectively denied any opportunity for physical activity outside of their homes. PDRL returned this weekend just gone. 6 teams, Castleford Tigers, Leeds Rhinos, Wakefield Trinity, Warrington Wire, Warrington Wolves and Wigan Warriors will take part in the 2021 competition with a new format designed to ensure as much safe activity as possible during a season which culminates with the PDRL World Cup in Warrington. A 7th club, Clockface Miners of St Helens, will launch a development side as well. Wigan and Warrington played a closely fought out game this weekend that Warrington were the winners of. In the Wheelchair Rugby League, that'll be the next one to restart. That's going to restart on the 22nd of May in line with government guidance on use of indoor facilities. For health reasons, the season will be played over 10 weekends with teams playing shortened games in groups, maximising game time and use of the venue, all very sensible thoughts. This means that the players will have less face-to-face contact time than normal, but over multiple weekends, while still ensuring a robust season with high levels of competition integrity, which of course is great because we've got a World Cup to win in this form of the game. There will be 3 levels of activity within Wheelchair Rugby League: the Super League, the Championship and the Development League, and festivals for new teams and players to get involved and play. So also the 2021 Wheelchair Challenge Cup will be played with a condensed time frame too, with the final provisionally scheduled for Saturday the 3rd of July, and this press release from the RFL said that broadcast details are to be confirmed, so let's hope we can watch that somewhere. The final list of wheelchair RL teams and competition structure is to be confirmed. So lots of teams from all over the country involved in Wheelchair Rugby League, but actually which ones will finally make up the final structure and how that will be played out is to be finalised still, but looking good there. And then Learning Disability Rugby League, that'll return on Saturday the 12th of June with a record 13 teams expected to take part in the first of a series of regional events building towards a scheduled LDRL World Cup Festival in October. So the LDRL teams are Castleford Tigers, Featherstone Rovers, Hull FC, Hull Kingston Rovers, Leeds Rhinos, Newcastle Thunder, St Helens, Salford Red Devils, Wakefield Trinity, Warrington Wolves, Widnes Vikings, Wigan Warriors and York City Knights. And we're going to just run through some of the key dates for all the disability Rugby League versions, so the learning disability, the physical disability, and of course the most inclusive sport in the world, Wheelchair Rugby League. So the PDRL season started on the 24th of April. The 22nd of May is when the Wheelchair RL season will launch. The 29th of May is when the Wheelchair RL will have its proper round one of fixtures. The 12th of June, which is my wife's birthday, that's going to be the LDRL season start. It's also Tony Club's birthday. Random fact. 26th of June, we'll see us get to see the Wheelchair Rugby League International between England and Wales, so big build-up for the World Cup there. The 3rd of July is when we expect the Wheelchair Rugby League Challenge Cup final to be played, but venue and other things to be confirmed. The 24th of July will be Wheelchair Rugby League Origin, so again a chance for people to stake their claims in the international games through that representative occasion. On the 14th of August will be PDRL Origin, which is very exciting to see that concept. Now that there's more and more teams getting involved. And the 18th of September will be the PDRL Grand Final. Then, also that day, will be the Wheelchair RL Finals Day, which will include the Wheelchair Super Grand Final. I guess that means Super League Grand Final, because... yeah. Then the 9th of October, there will be LDRL and PDRL exhibitions as part of the Super League Grand Final. So some dates to mark out for yourselves there for the wider forms of the game outside of just the men's and the women's games. So thanks for... I think Tom was the only one who got a fan viewing, but to be honest, I didn't put anything up on the form this week for news because none of it was that exciting until the French squad came out. Shout out to all our usual friends, BBC Sports Rugby League page, totalrl.com, loverugbyleague.com, and of course rugby-league.com. They provide the stories for us to talk about for you guys on the show. But that is the news, Sarah. It's time for us to move to Super League match reviews. Right, it was round 4 of Super League this week, and 2 of the unbeaten sides entering round 4 faced off in the first game of round 4. Thursday evening, Wigan hosted Castleford in glorious sunshine at the DW Stadium, and it made me miss it more than ever. At half-time, it was 12-8 to the host Wigan, and it finished up being 22-12 to Wigan. Chris Kendall was the match official in charge in terms of the stats. In a game where the error count and penalty count were both even, and in fact quite low, certainly the error count was low, the key stats were the 4 breaks to 1 and better by 3.6% team tackle success rate that were both in favour of Wigan, who also made more metres. So Wigan edged the stats. Individually, Liam Farrell, 1 try assist, 189 metres. John Bateman, 44 tackles and 124 metres. He went both ways, did Batty. Zach Hardacre, 1 try, 11 tackle busts, 166 metres. His strong start to the season continues. And Bevan French was back with 2 tries, 6 tackle busts and 165 metres from the electric French. For the losing Cast side, Daryl Alford, 2 tries, 5 tackle busts, 172 metres. Peter Matautu, who I thought was exceptional in this game, 2 try assists, 174 metres. Greg Eden, 182 metres, and Nathan Massey went both ways with 40 tackles, 11 of which were marker, and 108 metres for the loose forward. Out of the disciplinary on this one, Tyler Heppy's been given a Grade C dangerous contact charge, a 2-match penalty notice for young Heppy. I wasn't sure what the incident was from memory of the game. I just remember him not being very good, but it was really early on. I think it was on Wigan's first set with the ball, maybe. First or second set with the ball.
Okay, I've seen a lot of people question when it actually was.
Yeah, it was.
Or what it actually was.
Well, when you watch it back, which anyone who's got a season pass for either of the clubs or a Wigan TV subscription maybe can go and watch it back. It's on Brad Singleton in the 3rd minute of the game, sort of back end of that set, and he is he's got his arm, Singleton's arm, and he pretty much bends his arm back on itself. Through the shoulder joint. Singleton didn't make anything of it and seemed to not suffer too many ill effects from it, which is a positive. But
Yeah.
actually, when I watched it, I think probably start of the game, I maybe hadn't settled in fully watching the game yet. But when you watch it looking for it, it doesn't look nice.
Right. Yeah.
So I can understand the charge. I'm sure Cas fans can, but they'll disagree still when they go and watch it back. Do you want to give us the first of the fan views?
Yep, so Fatboy Rob got in touch to say Wigan probably deserved the win for their strong defence and a bit more class in Hastings, Druggy and Butterfingers. Cass were light off the bench and missing a half. The two forward pass tries still boils my piss, but it was nice of the in-goal judge to give Alfertz a try for nearly getting the ball down. Pissing the league on hold for a week. Hashtag COYF.
I'm not
and
sure.
Rob, I believed you. I went for Cass in my Super Brew. Super Brew.
I don't know which. Oh, I think Michael Shenton thought that Harry Smith's pass that was definitely backwards was forwards, and he was shouting it so loud that you heard it through the mic, so it probably convinced all the Cas fans that was forward. I'm not sure which other one he has a problem with, but Daryl Alford. I would love to see the photographs from the photographers at that end, because anyone who's seen that try, I'm convinced that Bevan French held him up with an absolutely fantastic tackle that is not going to get the credit it deserved because the try was given. But the in-goal judge was in a better position than I certainly was to call it. So we'll until I see photographic evidence, I'll have to defer. Matt Speakman 20 said, pretty solid performance again. Lamb must be pleased. Had to overcome a pretty one-sided refereeing performance with every 50-50 seemingly going for Cass. Great win though, and pleased to see French back. Racking up the points percentage at this point of the season is all that matters. Do you know, I'm going to say the same thing back to Matt. I don't remember there being any issue with the refereeing performance. I seem to remember it being a really decent, even game, and I can't think of any glaring refereeing errors other than the Alfertz try that I can't really be sure of. Anyway.
So then White Pie got in touch and said, Operation Piss the League hits the buffers. A good win for Wigan, bolstered by Bevan returning to the backs and solid defence. A fantastic offload by Harry Smith saw Zach equalise for Wigan, and then good hands saw Bevan in for a try before half-time. Silly penalties by both sides kept the game end-to-end with chances at a premium. Hastings chipped through for the try of the game before a Powell scoop from dummy half sealed the win.
Yeah, I think, he's there were silly penalties, but in the game from both sides. But I think it was a game you'd expect from two sides in good form. It was quite good intensity, this one, Sarah, actually. One of the better games we'll have seen so far this season. I thought Jordan Turner was really good for Cass. He was playing at standoff and or scrum half. He was playing in the halves. He was playing right-sided half, let's say, particularly in the first half. And I note that both their tries, Cass's tries, ultimately came down his side, although, like I've said, I'd love to see the picture of that Alfertz second try. Speaking of French, who I thought denied that try, he was on the wing as he regains max fitness, but and Hardaker's playing so well, isn't he, that it's hard to put in a totally unmatched practice French into that spot when Hardaker's going well. And actually, Isa's doing a pretty fine job on the right centre, so it's not that need isn't that great yet. But I do think eventually we'll see them switch back to the positions from last year, and French is still as exciting and as electrifying as he was last year. So if you've got a chance to watch the highlights, you watch his pace on both his tries. If you needed any proof that he was still really, really good, then you saw it. And actually, as he got more involvements in the game as the game went on, he seemed to get better and better, which is a real promising sign. Other than French, who I thought was maybe Wigan's best player, the same names would get mentions that we talk about so often. Farrell, Powell, Hardaker, all very good. Young Harry Smith, I do think, outperformed young Drake Truman in this game. I would say that Truman was quiet. He was kept quiet by good Wigan defence, but Harry Smith directly opposite him had more of a say on the game. Powell probably outperformed McShane on balance. Hardacre definitely outperformed Evalds on balance. Wigan just rotated their middle forwards as well, so they kept it really fresh there. And Joe Bullock had a really good spell